Hey friends, happy Thursday. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about something super important and something that I hope is very helpful for lots of people, lots of mamas especially. So I know dads are all about, health and wellness too sometimes. But for me personally, I know in our home, that's my domain, and it is something I'm passionate about, but it's also, I feel like just caring for my family's health is something that is my responsibility. So you may not feel that way, and that's totally fine. But I do. And so coming up into the fall and winter months, that's a time when I really, kick it into gear in terms of being proactive and not reactive, okay? So in Western medicine, honestly, America, just the way that we're trained to think, we're going along our day, and our weeks or whatever, we get sick, we take a medicine to get better, then we go along, we get sick, we take a medicine. So we take a very reactive approach. So honestly, and even though I've always used alternative medicine, all different kinds of alternative medicine, that even I've used or taken a very reactive approach instead of proactive, okay? Or I haven't always, but that's kind of the way that we're trained to think anyway. So what I'm hoping to do with this video is really help you guys to shift your mindset from reactive to proactive, because there's a lot that you can be doing to support your body and your kiddos' bodies all through the changes. I know we're starting to get some cold weather. Not cold. Let me back up. Not in Texas. The weather came down like 5 degrees. So that's amazing. So it feels amazing. And so, we're like, I'm starting to think, okay, we need to, ramp up our immune system. I had a couple this week that a couple of my kiddos were kind of like feeling down, and, we really need to ramp up all the things that we normally do to protect our health, and so that we can enjoy all the things that we want to do. There's nothing more heartbreaking that I know last year we didn't get to spend Christmas with Ryan's family because they were sick, and we have been, at times been sick, and it's just, there's nothing more heartbreaking than having to miss out on things that you love doing because you're sick. So, so what I want to do today is I'm going to share exactly what we do in our home, how we take a really proactive approach so that we're supporting our bodies and our immune systems every single day. And that way, when we do come up with something, then, we usually can fight it off pretty quickly. I joke all the time that my kids don't actually, when they're sick, I know they're sick, but they don't really, like other people wouldn't know they're sick. They're still jumping around and doing all kinds of stuff, but I can tell their system is down a little bit. And so that's when I will even ramp up things just a little bit more. So then they're over it pretty quickly. So that's the idea. I also used to have the belief that if you were healthy, then you wouldn't get sick. And that's just not true. Our world is so full of things that our bodies are bombarded with all day, every day. You can be doing everything perfect and you're still going to get sick, especially in times when the seasons are changing or the weather is colder or times of stress and all of that. So I really had to shift my mindset in that way this several years ago about, I was going to do all the things and just know that there are going to be times when our bodies are lower and we're going to get sick. But I wanted to be sure that those times were fewer and far between, and that it was short-lived when we did. Now, if you come up with something every single year at the same exact time, like let's say you get strep throat every year, or you get sinus infection every year. Those are more chronic. So you do want to delve into the root cause of those things. But I'm talking about more like catching a cold, getting the flu, that type of thing. So I'm not an advocate of the flu shot at all whatsoever, and probably controversial for me to say that here, but I'm just going to say it. And I think it does more harm than good. So, and that's all I'm going to say. But there is so much that you can do that's like probably literally right in your kitchen right now that can help you stay well. And when you do come up against something, you do get sick, or you know you've been exposed to something, then you can get well quicker, okay? All right, so my very first thing, and this is probably actually going to be, hi Madeline, hi Terry. This is going to be the hardest thing of them all, okay? Are you ready? Number one thing is schedule. Okay, so mamas, you are the gatekeeper of your home. You're the ones who allow everything in and everything, you know, like that your kids are exposed to. We have to be mindful, not just, you know, things that are coming in your home, media, toxins, all of those types of things, okay? But also schedule. The Christmas season, holiday season, it seems to be the time when everyone's like, let's do 10 times more than we normally do. And it's total chaos. So our bodies are already being bombarded with more viruses. There's just more elements in terms of like colder weather, heater in your home, bringing your immune system down. You know, there's all those types of things. And then let's add in, you know, less sleep, which is like number one for lowering your immune system instantly. And sugar, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So the hardest one, I'm just going to go with it first, is schedule. I am so careful, and this has probably been, I don't even know, 5 or 6 years ago. And we've had people that have had hurt feelings and they just had to get over it. We've missed things, you know, but it was so much more important for me to keep my family like well, and me to know that that was not, you know, adding stress to my life with everybody being sick, to keep our schedule to a minimum. So when I line out what we're going to do for the holidays, we have our favorite things, and that's it, and that's all we do. And we say no to a lot of things, but we say yes to a lot more things that are really, really meaningful and special to us. So watch your schedule. Make sure that if your kids are overtired or you're overtired, don't go, because if there's viruses there, you're going to get sick. The likelihood is you're going to get sick. So just be really, really mindful of your kids' energy, your energy, husband's energy, and, you know, have a lot of rest days, have a lot of I call it white space. So on my calendar, when I make my schedule for the week, I make sure there's plenty of white space on a normal week, but I make sure there's extra white space on, you know, during the holidays. Okay. So that's number one. Oh, and we also do earlier bedtimes a lot, and our bodies are actually made for that. If you think about it, the way the sun goes down earlier with the time change and all of that, our bodies are made to be more rested and restored during that season. So fight the urge to be at every single thing, okay? Fight the urge. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is another just super simple thing that you can do for free. Hydration, okay? You should be drinking half your weight in ounces in your body weight. So take your body weight. If you weigh 120 pounds, half of that would be 60 ounces. You need to be drinking that on a regular day, every single day, okay? Every single day. And your kiddos too, okay? You can calculate theirs for them. In the fall and winter months, you need to be drinking more than that. And then obviously if you're working out or whatever, you also need to be drinking more than that. But start there and start early in the day so you've got that done. The thing about staying hydrated in fall and winter is that you're cleaning out your system all the time while you're drinking your water, but also so many of the viruses and bacteria and things that cause illness are airborne, okay? Your nasal passages are made by God. Our bodies are so created just like incredible. That your nasal passages are one of your first lines of defense. They are part of your immune system, okay? So if you've turned the heater on, let's say, in your house, and the air is super dry, your nose is really dry, those nasal passages are meant to stay moist because it helps the hair. Like, I'm pointing to my nose weird, but anyways, just I'm throwing myself off. Okay, so the hair follicles and all of that are meant to stay moist so that they can catch everything. So they are actually part of the first line of defense of your immune system. If your whole body is dry, your skin is also another of your first line of defense for your immune system. If your skin is dry, your nasal passages are dry, then all of those things are more likely to get in. Then also respiratory wise, those things are going to be dry too if you're not staying hydrated. So there again, it's just creating an atmosphere that cannot fight off the things that you come in contact with. So stay hydrated. Stay hydrated and keep your kids hydrated. I even set alarms on my phone to remind me, like, make everybody drink a glass of water. I still have to remind, my older girls, drink a glass of water. So one tip for you, if your kiddos don't like water, totally, I'm talking about sugar in a second, but stay away from sports drinks, juice, soda especially. No, you don't need any of that, okay? What we do if they are not wanting to drink water, they just don't, they're tired of it or whatever. One of the things we do is we use herbal tea, and I have a hibiscus tea that I get from Frontier. I order it off of Amazon. It's a loose tea, so I'll make a big picture. So they love that, and it honestly has a ton of health benefits too. But that's really good. It's fruity. The other thing we use is Vitality citrus oils from Young Living. And so I've got lemon, orange, and lime. We also love grapefruit. And the thing about the Vitality oils is the white label. It means they're safe for you to ingest. And one drop in your water totally changes the flavor. This Lime Vitality, it tastes like a limeade to me, especially if you have a sparkling water with it. And so we put those in our kiddos' water all the time. I've talked about it on a ton of my other videos, but they support the detox pathways, which is another thing that you want to be doing during the winter months. You just want to make sure everything is staying flushed out of your system. So we love, love, love the Vitality oils for that. And like I said, it changes the flavor of the water, so they will drink a lot more of it. One tip, if you are using Vitality oils with your water, you need to either use glass or stainless steel. Do not put them in plastic, okay? And I use stainless steel straws as well, okay? That's just a tip. Okay, the other thing to do is go right now within the next month or so and have your vitamin D levels checked. That's super important for your immune system. If your vitamin D is low, I recommend a liquid vitamin D that you can do right under your tongue, drop right under your tongue. The next thing is gut health, okay? So 80 to 90% of your immune cells that are there to protect you, to fight off all the things, are found in your gut, okay? We do all kinds of things every day to tear up our gut lining. And it just is what it is. All of our food, stress. If you've been on an antibiotic, you may not know this, but if you have been on an antibiotic within this last year, it can take you up to a year to rebuild your gut integrity and the natural bacteria that's found there, up to a year for one round of antibiotics. So if you have been on an antibiotic anytime in the last year, this is something that you want to do right now. You want to get a good probiotic going in your body so that you are ready for the cold and flu season, okay? Especially for your kiddos. Probiotics, they're found in food too, okay? Google, I love Dr. Axe, his website for searching. Look at his stuff, places you can find good probiotics already in your food, and then research a good probiotic. If you want my recommendation, I can let you know. I do want to show you the probiotics that I love for my kiddos. So these are from Young Living. They're called Mighty Pro. They're probiotic and a prebiotic. So it's really good if you can get both, okay? Because the prebiotic is the food that feeds the probiotic. So they feed the healthy bacteria. They taste like pixie sticks. They're just come in the little packets. You tear it off. You can sprinkle it. You can pour it right in their mouth, or you can sprinkle it in their applesauce or something like that. But what I love about those two is they are, the base of it is the wolfberry, which is a superfood. So not only are they getting all of that great gut health, but they're also getting the antioxidants. Okay. So, Google wolfberry, and you'll see. Okay. You'll see why you want those in your kiddos. And if that's something that you're wanting to get, you can get that through me. Just let me know. Okay, so gut health, super important. The other thing that we do to keep our gut healthy is broth, okay? So I make homemade bone broth or vegetable broth all the time. You can buy it. It's better to make it. Yesterday I talked a lot about healthy routines. If you didn't catch my video on that, this is one of those things that I attach onto my weekly routine for the fall and winter months, okay? It's just part of my habits that I do. I've done this for years. You probably have heard the wives' tale or whatever you want to call it about chicken soup. Your grandma says, when you're sick, drink chicken soup. Well, that is an actual thing. There is all kinds of properties of that broth that help your immune system, that lower inflammation in your gut and boost your immunity. So you want broth in your body and your kid's body very regularly through the cold and flu season. In fact, if we're coming down with something, I will even do a sort of broth fast where I just keep it on the stove and we just ladle it and drink it all through a day to just give our body a time to rest for digestion, and then just having the broth. So I'll talk about that a little bit more on probably another video. I do have a video on my YouTube channel that is instructions for making bone broth from chicken bones. But I just made a bone broth just a broth this week too that was full. I could put 2 whole onions in it, a whole big thing of garlic, and it just sits on the stove. And then I use that for the base for soups. Or my kids love rice noodles and just the broth. So like I said, I had a couple of my kids this week that were not feeling great. So that's my first go-to is I put a pot on the stove with, all those things in it. I mean, an onion and garlic themselves have so many properties that support the immune system. Adding in fresh herbs, all of that, all those things, they just support the immune system. And then what I did was I served it in a soup for dinner one night, and then I made them a lunch the next day with rice noodles. It's kind of like pho, but without all the stuff. So they drank the broth, ate the noodles, and then, everybody is, feeling back to normal. And some didn't even get anything. It's just I could tell they were really run down, and my oldest daughter was feeling not feeling well at all. So but it really helped their bodies to pick back up. So I hope that makes sense. But the broth, I do it in my crock pot. I do it every week, all during the fall and winter. Okay. That's just a mainstay for us. And it's our first go-to when everybody is starting to feel bad. That's our first thing that we do. Okay. The other thing that we do is we decrease the sugar. So I know I'm asking you to do all these hard things because starting with Halloween, have you ever wondered why Halloween all the way to Christmas is called the cold and flu season? It's also the sugar season, okay? It's also when the weather changes. Everything about that is hello, get sick, So if you can do anything to avoid the sugar, it just wreaks havoc on your immune system. I mean, instantly your ability to fight off disease is lowered. Okay. And it's not just, simple sugars, but also just the sugars that are found in everything. Okay. So I have more videos coming on that, but all that to say, find alternatives for your kiddos, help them make good, healthy choices, make them a part of the process. It's not something I control for my kiddos. It's something that we have done over years of time, and they know that they feel like crap when they eat sugar. And so, you know, they will still do that, but most of them now will choose on their own not to, because they know how bad they feel and they don't want to be sick, you know? So lowering sugar, big, big, big. The other thing that we do is we increase our antioxidants, okay? So antioxidants, oxidants are what are, you know, all over the world, you know, all over your environment all the time, on our skin, in the air we breathe, all of that. And they really lower your body's ability to fight off disease, and we're bombarded with them. So you need to do a lot of things in your daily life that increases your antioxidants. So one of the ways that we do that is Ningxia Red. So I've talked about this on multiple videos because I just cannot talk about this stuff enough. We absolutely love it, okay? This is the number one antioxidant drink on the market. This little guy here is like, I don't even know, I should have brought that with me for my notes, but it's like, you know, a ton of broccoli, beets, oranges, like all the things. Plus, it's infused with essential oils, which are, again, more antioxidants for your system. So we drink this every day. Kiddos, me, Ryan, all of that. Gotta have this in your system and working. The other thing that we do is essential oils. And here again, I used essential oils for a couple of years, but in a very reactive way. They were up in a cabinet, and I guarantee you, lots of you mamas that are watching, you say, oh, I have essential oils. They're up in my cabinet. So the table where I'm sitting right now is full of oils. Like there's a cute little display, got all the oils out. They are something that we're meant to be proactive with, not reactive. You need to keep them out on your body, in the air. You can ingest the vitality oils. You need to keep this going all the time. That way, when you do come in contact with something, your system is already primed and ready. So here's a couple of the ways that we do that. I've shown this before. This is our immune roller. This is made with an immune boosting blend, okay, of oils. It's got a combination of several different things. In here. We literally roll this on our feet every single night and on our spines, okay? It's always in our system. It's always working. That way, when we do come in contact with something, we can ramp it up if we need to, but our bodies are ready, okay? So the other thing that you can do, let me show you actually. Let me back up just a tad. What's in our immune blend is thieves, okay? So in the 15th century, during the plague, there were what they called grave robbers. And so they would go around, and people that had either were dying or dead from the plague, these guys would go around and they would rob them of their stuff, like take stuff out of their pockets and everything. And they didn't get sick. They didn't get the plague. So they were asked, I guess, I don't know, interviewed, whatever you want to call it, about what they were doing. So they were covering themselves in herbs and spices, and that was protecting them from getting sick and getting the plague. So those are the things that you can find in this blend, and that's why it's called Thieves, okay? So there's actually some studies done with this oil that show 80 to 90% reduction in airborne microorganisms if you're diffusing this blend. And then, I mean, like for real, I'm looking at my essential oils desk reference here, but it's also antibacterial, it's antiseptic, antiviral, anti-infectious. I mean, it's like all the things, okay? So coming up in fall and winter, you want this in your home, in all the places you can get it. You want it in your body every day. You want it in your kiddo's body. Oh, it's making my eye water. Sorry. You want it in your kiddo's body every day. So let me show you some of the ways that we do that. We have Thieves everywhere, okay? Every single time my kids wash their hands or I wash my hands, they're getting thieves into their system. Super high in antioxidants, and it's supporting their immune system with their hand soap, okay? Every load of laundry is supporting our immune system. Every time I do dishes or my kids do dishes, I'm supporting their immune system. Every time I spray the countertops or the toilets or the floors, this is an all-purpose cleaner. It's just mixed depending on your need, and it's all super safe. None of it's toxic. It has none of the gross stuff in it. I mean, your child could drink it. On the back of this it says, if you drink it, if swallowed, drink plenty of water. Okay, so it's super, super, super duper safe, but it also, like, I bought safe products for years. We've had a chemical-free home for 20 years, but this has the added benefit of supporting your kiddos and your immune system while you're doing all those things, while you're just living. And I mean, oh my gosh, mamas, we need that, okay? We need all the help we can get. The other thing we use is every time we're out and about. So it's not just a safe hand sanitizer, which if you're using hand sanitizers, stop right now because you're killing your first line of defense, okay? On your hands, your body is made with bacteria on your skin that helps protect you. When you use hand sanitizer, it kills all the bacteria, even the good ones that are meant to protect you. So you don't want to use it. It's actually destroying your immune system, okay? Look it up, I promise. So we use this hand sanitizer, which not only is killing the germs, but it's also supporting our immune systems while we're out. So we use that all the time. Okay, I think that's it. And okay, so we're getting antioxidants and immune support in every product in our home. We're also diffusing it in the air. I diffuse thieves all the live long day, okay? And then we're putting it on our skin all day, okay? If we start to not feel good, we just ramp up what we do, okay? Like, for example, this roller we'll use once a day right now, probably twice a day during cold and flu season, but if we've been exposed to something or been near somebody that was sick or somebody's feeling run down, we do it every 2 hours, okay? And that's what we did this week when I had a couple that weren't feeling good and nobody else got sick, and my one that wasn't feeling good started feeling better. So, yes. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, you can put another Band-Aid on or wait for me.
Like, get across like that?
Yeah, or you can wait for me. Okay, so the next thing, I have 2 more things very quickly. I know this is a long video, but it has a lot, there's a lot of components. And believe me, these are things that I have put into practice in our home over, 15 years. So, yeah. Oh, no, don't do that one. Just wait for mommy, okay? And I'll help you. It's upstairs. There's not any in there, I don't think. So these are things that I've put into practice over 15 years. So like I said on my video yesterday about building healthy habits, choose one thing at a time. Don't get overwhelmed, but a lot of these are really simple things, and choose a handful that you want to incorporate this cold and flu season to help your family stay well. So the other thing we do is chiropractic. We do chiropractic care every single week for everybody. That is a whole entire video in itself, honestly. So I'm not going to go into a ton of that, but all that to say, if your nervous system isn't working correctly, then you can do all the great things you want to do, but it's kind of, well, it doesn't work as well. How about that? So make sure your nervous system is online, working correctly, doing all the things it should, and then all of this stuff will be working even better for you. So I will plan another video on chiropractic. But the other last one is gratitude. So you guys might not know this, but gratitude, just not just saying, oh, I'm thankful for my family or whatever. Not that that's not good to be thankful for your family, but having a regular gratitude practice where you're searching out things every day that you're grateful for actually increases your body's ability to fight off disease. It's amazing, okay? Mental health is huge. Lowering stress is huge. The holidays can be like so difficult for so many reasons. I have struggled through the holidays for years. My mom died right after Christmas. So I would be fine never celebrating Christmas again is how I felt for probably 10 years. So that emotional stress, though, it brings your body down. It brings down your ability to fight off disease. And so I highly recommend doing all the things to take care of yourself and your mental health, and say your gratitude every day. It's so huge. I love 2 oils that I use every day. Stress Away. This is like a vacation in a bottle. And then Gratitude is an actual oil. Also, not going to go into all of the ways that essential oils support your emotions, but that is actually why I really delved deep into essential oils, was for the emotional piece for me. And so one of the things I love to do is just make a heart in my hand and breathe it in really, really deep. And it actually does physiological things in your body to help increase your immunity, support your body, like all around, because I'm sure all of you know mental health, physical health, spiritual health, all those things they're not separate. They're all pieces that are connected. So my last piece of advice in being proactive as you're looking into the fall and the cold and flu season is make sure that you are supporting your emotions in a super healthy way. And I do that with essential oils and other things, but gratitude and essential oils. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that there's something you can take from this that's helpful, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. All right.